Plummy Plum, sup brother?
Hey boy, how we going?
Not bad, what are you up to?
Nah, not a lot, bro. Just testing times with this lockdown stuff. So packed down at home in Karaka and with the family, and yeah, just trying to get through it as everyone else is.
Bro, it's pretty mad, eh? How long do you reckon it's going to run for?
Oh, I don't like to predict all that sort of stuff, but from what everyone's saying, hopefully the last couple of days has been a good sign. So fingers crossed, it's no longer than that 4 week period that they talked about.
Did you see that Washington Post thing?
Nah, what was that one?
They were like, they put this post up about like New Zealand's not just flattening the curve, they're squashing it and shit. Like they're saying we're killing
Really?
it, Jacinda's killing it and that. So maybe.
To be honest, I reckon she's been doing mean. She's been, in her time, she's had to make some pretty tough calls, and I think she's been doing real well.
She's had a pretty fucking tough innings, eh?
Especially with a kid coming in as well. Like that's
true.
rough. And then all the shootings and stuff, she's done real well, I thought.
Yeah. What have you been doing during the break, bro? Been up to much?
Oh, it's yeah, we got programs, so it's kind of trying to find a balance between keeping busy and keeping the training. It's a bit hard getting the motivation, I think, at the moment, just because we don't really know what's around the corner. So
yeah.
But I'm in quite a lucky situation out at my family home. I got a good setup here, and
Saw that, yeah.
You know, got a pretty decent gym and a big house and a nice sort of area to run around in out on the field, and so it makes lockdown a little bit easier. But other than that, just trying to keep occupied, to be honest.
You got a couple posts you flick some balls at, or what?
I got posts out in the backyard, bro. Yeah, it's,
That's out the cage.
Yeah. So I think it's lucky in the country. I've never been a town boy. I'm not a big fan of town, so I quite like coming out here. But
yeah,
to be able to lock down here is pretty lucky for me compared to some other people that don't have a little bit of grass to run around in or whatever. So
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
I saw you made a bit of a pitching putt or like a golf course or something.
Bro,
is that still running?
Yeah. We talked about it, like how we were going to do it, and we've got a massive paddock out the back of our property.
Yeah.
And we're on about 3 acres, I think. So we just mowed a massive strip, and it's not the best green, but we've got 4 tee-offs, I think.
Man.
Or, over the longest one's about 130 meters, and they sort of, the first one's about 60 or something. So you get some full swings, which is mean.
Yeah, that's mean, bro. Did you see my story? I actually made like a little one out the back of the old man.
I saw you made a 9-hole one.
That was from your story.
From
That's what gave me the idea, bro.
We were just like, one day we're like, we're gonna get too bored. We need to and obviously we love playing golf, so we were like, no, we need to do something about it. And the green's pretty rusty, but it's bro, it's meant to just swing a club and stuff like that. Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, hard. Tell us about your family, bro. But about your family, your missus, background.
Yeah, so I grew up in Karaka, which is south of Auckland, sort of bordering Auckland and Waikato. I lived with my mum and dad, who both lived out here since I was born. I got an older brother, Josh, who's 2 years older than me, younger brother, Ben, who's 2 years younger than me, and then a little sister who's just turned 14. So it's a big family. We did primary school out here, nice and local, and then went into St. Peter's in Auckland. All 3 of us boys went there, and I was there 2010 to 2016 was my last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, from that's sort of sparked where I am now, and I've been with my partner Laura for 5 years now. So in lockdown, we're all our families together, all 6 of us, my brother's girlfriend and Laura's here as well. So makes for a nice big household. But yeah, it's good. It's good.
Obviously, 20s, a couple years ago now. Fuck, that went quick.
It's gone real quick. Ever since school, it's gone real quick.
Yeah. What's this? Our 4th year out now.
4th year this year.
Jesus.
It's crazy saying that.
You're vice captain, obviously. When you were, yeah. What was that like for you?
The 20 stuff, or
yeah, 20 stuff.
Yeah, it was good, bro. Like it was the year before was kind of what I was going for. Is the year that that you guys made that Oceania team. You and a couple of other younger boys made it, and sort of my journey outside of school was a little bit different to other people's. I got some pretty decent injuries, sort of my back end year of school. I did my shoulder a couple of times, so for me, all the rep teams seemed a little bit out of reach because I was always injured around those times. So I really wanted to try and push my case for 20s the year before, and obviously that couldn't happen through injury. But there were some pretty good 10s around there with, I think Stevie P he went over and played for them.
Yeah, in the final.
I think Tian played for them as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had some good 10s there as well, and I think the year after when I finally made it, it was more like like I've been trying to push for it for so long that it was more a relief than anything to finally get there, because of all the like behind the scenes work that rugby players put in post injuries and stuff. So it was cool. It was a good group of boys. The Oceania stuff was real cool. We had a good team, and I enjoyed the coaching and the sort of the style that we played and stuff, because it wasn't too dissimilar to what I played before. The World Cup was a bit of a learning curve. We got pumped a little bit up front in our back end of our games. We cruised through to the semis and then played France, and it was their home ground in France. And I don't know how many times we got penalised and stuff. We just got pumped, and we didn't lose by that much, but it was almost one of those games that after 60 minutes you were like, I don't know how we're gonna get back into this sort of thing. So that was a big learning curve, but it was mean, bro. Anytime I get to travel with rugby, I'm pretty grateful to do it.
But that Tarmac or whatever, he's killing it, eh? He was
there are some of those,
fullback,
bro. He played 12, I think.
Oh yeah, 12.
For their team, and now he's playing 10 because they're 10. He plays for Toulon or something, or Toulouse maybe.
That's right, yeah.
He plays with Jerome Kino and them, so they got some superstars that are like ripping up French
team,
rugby at the moment. Yeah.
And you played in front of a pretty fucking crazy atmosphere that game, eh?
Nuts, yeah. It was in Perpignan, which isn't actually a massive stadium. It's about, I think capacity is about 20 or something. I might be a bit off, but
and it was full though, eh?
Bro, full. They had mariachi bands, everything. Like, we practiced that week that you couldn't talk to each other within like 2 meters. You had to come real close and try and communicate and stuff. But it was crazy. Like for a New Zealand team, the national anthem and the haka is something that you feel like you get one up over a team. You're mentally prepared, and you get a bit of oomph before a game. And when they sung their national anthem, like, we were all just like 20,000 people singing it with their team, and we were kind of just like, holy shit, this is like, that was pretty cool sort of thing. But but yeah, it was something that I've never like experienced in New Zealand.
I've always thought that that's almost the way to go, like with stadiums and footy and that, just like a little bit smaller and just mean atmosphere like that. Like, because I watched 100%. It looked mad.
100%. Like I like how, say for example, something like Eden Park, how it's got so much history behind it, but you
need a big or a couple big stadiums. Like, you do need a couple.
Oh, 100%. Like for like a Bledisloe Test or something, but you're playing other games and you're getting 30,000, which would look mad if it was a full stadium, but at Eden Park that's only a third full, so like it's something a bit different. I think the support's crazy over there as well. Like they're a lot more passionate. They don't really care what people think. They dress up in colours. They'll shout whatever they want. Yeah. It kind of like resembles the football atmospheres over in the UK and stuff, which is something I've always thought was like, man, that's pretty cool. That'd be unreal to play in front of.
Mean, bro. So you obviously went from that to your first year. Contracted with the Blues last year. and debuted against...
Debuted against the Crusaders.
What was that like? Run us through it.
It was crazy. The pre-season lead-up was real cool. The other 10s were Stevie P and Otere Black.
Yep.
So there was some good, again, some good 10s in there. And Stevie actually got injured, so in the pre-season, which was putting him out for the season. So it kind of gave me a chance to show my case, I guess, and show what I, get a shot at Super Rugby. So we'd just come off the back of a real good Mitre 10 season with Auckland. So I had, some confidence going into the Blues, and but it was nuts. I think I got about 25 minutes at Eden Park, against the Crusaders. It was like, you can't ask for too much more than that. Yeah, and it was crazy. It all went by real quick, actually. So, but something like that was, it was kind of like a little bit of a whirlwind that whole week. I didn't really remember the week, to be honest, leading up. I remember the game, and then after the game got presented my tie, and I think the very next morning we flew out to South Africa, so didn't really get a whole lot of time to process it. But yeah, it was nuts.
Can you remember telling your olds
when I made the team? Yeah. I remember because obviously with rugby, the team will get named usually on a Tuesday for a Saturday game, and so you go into the day off on Wednesday knowing that you're playing, but the team doesn't get released till a Thursday. So you can only tell your parents and close ones and stuff like that. So on the Tuesday, I told them that I'm going to be on the bench, and don't get too excited. Like, I might not get on, but I'm on the bench and I might get my debut and stuff. And with their background with rugby, Dad's obviously worked with the Blues for ages, and that was, I think, his second year not working with them, that they were just, they were stoked and they were always going to be there, and they came out in full force, and it was crazy.
And Plum's got a gig. How good.
Yeah, Plum's got a gig, yeah.
Would that be what's your best sporting moment to date? Do you reckon that would be it, or?
It'd be up there. I think my one would be the Mitre 10 Cup final. Yeah. To be honest,
actually, yeah.
In 2019, that was just something else. We had that was the year that they opened up Eden Park and let everyone in for free.
Yeah.
And it was kind of what I was talking about before. I think there was something like 30,000 people there, and it was the biggest crowd I've ever played in front of. But it didn't look that full at the time.
Eden Park.
I remember running out after half time, and we were losing like 20-7 or something like that. Like, we were getting pumped, and everyone was kind of in the change rooms. And Graham Henry was our defense coach that year, and he walked in and he just roasted us. And we walked out, and it had been raining at half time, and we looked up, and all the crowd was just in one stand. That was the covered stand. Yeah. And everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be mean." And it ended up going to overtime, and we played an extra 20 minutes of rugby, and it was nuts.
Yeah, they looked mean, bro. You went over to Harlequins, eh? Was it Harlequins?
Harlequins, yeah. So
Harlequins. What was that about? Like, why'd you go? What was...
So I got hit up by the general manager at Blues and he asked me, because Nick Evans is now the coach. He's a backs coach, skills coach over at Harlequins. Okay. And obviously he used to play for the Blues. And they basically said to me, "Listen, there's a chance to head over, spend a week with the Harlequins, and basically just, rub shoulders with Nick Evans, see how they play rugby over there. If you pick up a few things awesome, then you can bring it back to us and, apply it to your game and stuff." So, and that was real cool. Like that was in the works for the whole Mitre 10 season. And it just so happened at the time that the All Blacks were over there as well, playing their Northern Tour. So I got to go and watch one of their trainings in London, and then went and watched their game at Twickenham Stadium, which was mean, and then spent the very next week with the Harlequins for the week, and that was unreal as well. That was just a whole different style of rugby, and they got a lot of England cap players and good coaching and stuff like that. So again, it was another cool experience to be a part of, and it was just lucky that I was coming into, my first year of Super Rugby, and they thought it'd be quite beneficial. So I was able to head over there and spend a couple of weeks over there, which was mean.
Couple of weeks, yeah, that's mean. Like obviously footy, pretty big, but outside of footy, what have you been looking at? You been doing anything off the field?
So I got through about a year and a half of my business degree, and then it kind of halted, and I've been, in fairness, pretty slack with it, not studying. So this year I'm trying to take up online papers to finish that off, whether that's in the next couple of years or whatever. Hopefully I can knock that off. Other than that, I was doing an apprenticeship with BNZ.
Yeah.
So I followed around one of the top dogs at BNZ that we have a connection, as they used to be our sponsor, and followed them around for 5 or 6 weeks and got to see how they do it in banking. And it was a little bit different because I'd never wanted to do banking. I thought it was real black and white and quite a tough job to do, but it's like the avenues that they go down for banking now is just unreal. Like all the marketing side of things, which is what I was majoring in, and it's the financial side of it was just real interesting that I found. So that's something that I want to keep going with, and I was probably going to spend a couple more weeks with them over this sort of time, but obviously with the lockdown now and them sort of looking after their customers and whatnot, just kind of halted things. But that's all good. That's that is what it is.
Connections, bro. Networking.
Connections, bro? You'd be very surprised, eh? Surprised.
How big is that for footy? Eh? Fuck, you can make so many connections through footy.
You can, and I think like people don't realise that you're sitting at a sponsors event and the boys are tired from training or whatever, and like you could simply just go up to someone, introduce yourself, speak about what line of work they're in, and like bang, you've just got one connection straight away. And
exactly,
you impress someone with how you talk, and there's another connection, and you never know who's going to be involved in housing or involved in business further down the road. And I think that's where it's going now in this sort of day and age, that you don't really need you don't need to be the smartest if you can connect with people and
who you know or not what you know
people. Yeah, exactly. You got it.
You mentioned property or housing there. You been looking at property at all?
Yeah, funny story that. I love the concept of property, and mum and dad have been brought up with the same way, so they've got a few properties, and I wanted to follow in those footsteps. So we spent quite a lot of last year looking at properties to buy, and mainly I was looking in Auckland City, but it was just it's just stupid at the time because the prices were just going up and up, and for what you were going to pay, it just wasn't worth it. So we looked a little bit further out, and then within I think 2 weeks of looking a little bit further out, I found a place and basically put in an offer and got the contract and stuff. So I bought in Papatoe, which is pretty cool, but obviously with this coronavirus stuff, it's altered the process a little bit, and so we're kind of just waiting at the moment and see where everything's at with council and stuff like that.
Congrats, bro! I didn't realize you bought it.
It's cool. So hopefully it all goes through. But it's a good starting point and foot in the door for the property stuff. And
bro, you just got to get your foot in the door today.
Yeah. And obviously right now it's a little bit scary, but listening to some pretty experienced guys, you're never really going to lose with property and stuff. So it's cool to get the opportunity. And I know a few of the like Blues boys and Auckland boys are quite passionate about it as well. So there's a few rugby boys that you can talk to and get their experiences and stuff like that about it, which is mean.
Bro. St. Peter's. You obviously went to St. Peter's. Heard a rumour that you guys didn't wash your field. Is that true? That's just what I heard, bro. And I was wondering, fuck, that must be why I always used to get infected every time we played.
I don't know. I heard that rumour as well, but I don't actually know if that...
oh, fuck.
We did have an issue one year. It was my last year at St. Peter's, and because our field's astroturf, you need to go through all these regulations every year or every couple of years that meets the safety standards. So I think it's got to do it's got to have a certain amount of rubber. I don't know, it's got to be watered a certain amount of times, and there's some sort of bounce thing that they have to do that makes it like all good for people's, injuries and stuff like that. So we came around to first 15 season, and round one we were supposed to be playing De La Salle at our home fields, and we were prepping all week, and then our coach told us, I think on the Wednesday or something, he's like, our field's not actually been cleared for safety regulations, so we have to play our first 2 games away, which were like at something like De La Salle and some other real tough place to play or something. Might have even been... I don't think it was you guys. I don't know where it was, but we heard it and we were like... Because first 15 rugby, home field advantage is like everything.
100.
Like, that's the difference between, winning and losing sometimes. So we were like, oh, my, you've got to be kidding me.
But it's mad at the KJ.
Everyone hated our field. Yeah, because it's so enclosed.
Yeah, bro.
Everyone hated our field, but I didn't mind it.
Oh, like, any time I'd kick... from the side, like I kicked the guy from the sideline, and you literally, I did I did like my step back.
Yeah.
I'll be stepping back, and it's about say 2 meters, maybe 2.5 from the sideline.
Yeah.
And I just had dudes on my shoulders while I was kicking, like shake it.
Bro, that's every single time. The worst one I had, we played Mags there, and I think I was running down the sideline or something, and you remember Waimana?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. He like ragdolled me into touch, and I smoked my knee on one of the parts of the fence that doesn't have any padding.
Oh.
And he was like looking at me laughing and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, you're kidding. Our field is just too small now.
Oh, is it actually is it right size? It's not I
think it's like, I think it's like 4 or 5 meters short or something.
Because it feels. I remember standing at like halfway, looking at like visualizing kicking a goal from halfway, and I was like, "That is not 50 meters."
Nah, they had a massive because the field used to be grass, and it used to just get like smashed by all the rain and stuff, and it would never repair itself. So they had to do that, and then there were all these regulations they had to meet. And I don't know. I haven't actually measured it out, but I definitely don't think it's 100 meters.
Yeah. You would know. You've played a few games there. You mentioned that game against us that year. Fuck. And
what was that one?
You kicked all the points, and you beat us 12-10.
We didn't score any tries, eh?
To put this in perspective, this guy, we were up 10-9, and they charged the field, and I remember every single moment of this game because it pisses me off to date. They charge up the field, penalty, get kicked to the corner, they're still going. We're well past the time, it's 10-9. Plum pulls up for a drop goal in front of the post. They throw it back to him, and we're charging after him. I think it was me, Itane, and Tanielu,
Yeah.
And we're about maybe 3 meters away from Plums, and he hasn't even got the ball yet. And then he hits his hands and he drops it straight between his feet. And then we hear the whistle blow, and we thought it was like, turn around, the man's got a penalty to Plum because we were charging offside. And then he puts it down 5 meters in front of the post, knocks it over, beats us 12-10.
I still talk to Taniolo about that, and he's still cut about that every single time we talk about it. He's like, I was never offside.
Bro, they said it was him, eh? They said it was him. He was the offside.
Yeah, they said it was him. He took it real personal as well.
But first 15 footy in Auckland was mad, eh? Because I got to experience
you got to
the
play
Tauranga boys. I got to I got to experience Tauranga boys, and like that was all good. But like 1A is just something else. Like,
I think it's because there's no easy weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously you have like your favourites in that, but like playing at like a De La Salle, Kelston, Otahu, like those are tough places to play, man. And like they have nothing to lose. And I don't know if you were playing that year, but when Otahu like were unreal, and they
They
beat you guys
Kents.
at your home field.
Yeah, no, that was before me, but
And
yeah.
I think they got to like semis and stuff, and they were just unreal. And like those teams, people like sleep on them, and they just
100.
make you pay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, and like the whole school gets behind it. Like the crowds are mad. Like, fuck. Kind of miss it.
I reckon it slowly started to take over club rugby.
Yeah.
You know, with like all the TV footage and stuff like that, and
Bro, almost might
it
have
was
10.
cool though, eh? Yeah, well, close.
Like I remember we played the 1A final our year 12, and we played Grammar, and we had like close to 15,000 people there. It was that one stand was just full packed. Didn't look like much, but like you could hear it too. And like we finished our game, and then Auckland were playing after us, the Mitre 10, and it just fully emptied out, bro. Like,
I think it was my first year. That exact same thing happened.
yeah.
Like we were watching. I think it was St. Peter's actually, and that was the year that St. Peter's won it.
Oh yeah.
And we were watching, and we were like, "Yeah, this is amazing. There's a massive stadium." Like
Yeah.
game one, I think we were playing counties. And we walked out to warm up, and everyone was leaving, and we were like, "Oh, you're kidding!" And we had like 2,000 people stay in the end, and there were like 15 as well. We were like, "Oh, you're kidding!" So embarrassing.
Do you cook a bit, bro, or what? Live by yourself? Have to cook?
Yeah. Me and Laura, we actually went on like a little. We were. Are you doing plant based now?
Not full time, but I've been trying to. Yeah. Most of the time.
Because we did the same. We spent the whole preseason. I went plant based just to try it out, and obviously, like there was a phase of that game changer stuff, and we talked about it as you know, like a couple of our teammates and stuff like that, and we tried it out, and I think we were doing 5 days on, 2 days off or something.
Yeah.
So we learned some pretty cool like recipes and like made you think a little bit more cooking and stuff. But
do you feel a difference?
I cook a little bit, like, and my body shape changed a lot.
Yeah.
It was hard to get like good protein sources in there like all the time, so I found I was having way more protein shakes than normal, but because like you can only have so many like chickpeas and stuff like that to fill you up, I found. So but it was good. Like we went back to normal, but I reckon we could easily go back to doing that a couple of times a week or something. I think it's more just easy, like, whipping up like a pasta or something like that has chicken in it, or something like that. So, but I cook, but I'm not by any means like brilliant or anything like that. I'll kind of just follow a recipe or something. And
what's your go-to? Basic.
Basic is nachos, bro.
Yeah.
We got through a phase we were doing, I think it was Thursdays or something. We were doing nacho Thursdays like every week. It was silly, yeah.
We did a quick Q&A, so we got a few questions.
Oh yeah.
We'll run those through, finish off. Do you consider yourself to have cankles?
Who asked that?
It's confidential, bro.
100% I have cankles. Bro, at school, I was so like insecure about it. And like,
really?
I was like, nah, bro, like I've just got big calves. What are you guys up to? And like, if you saw my family, like everyone's just got huge legs. So
yeah,
I 100% do. And anyone that thinks I doesn't, you're the man. But I definitely do.
What your go-to coffee?
Flat white. Yeah.
Just straight flat white.
Yeah, straight flat white. I got through a phase of like trying it with trim milk and that, but nah, it was no good. So flat white. If it's an instant coffee, instant with 1 sugar. That's me. I'm easy.
Mean, bro.
Yeah.
Your game day breakfast.
Usually just eggs, 3 poached eggs, a couple of bits of toast. Pretty simple. When we're traveling, it's a little bit harder because you got all the buffet breakfast and stuff. So
Yeah.
they offer a little bit more, but try and just stick to eggs or spaghetti or something like that. Something pretty simple.
Yeah. Yeah. If you could kick an 81st minute winning drop goal against any team, who would it be?
Any team, probably the Crusaders, to be honest. Anytime you get to beat them would be pretty mean. Yeah,
That'd be mad.
that'd be unreal.
At home.
Hard.
Have you ever been in talk with the ABs at all?
In that trip to London, I spent a little bit of time with. I went and watched one of their trainings and that, and then spent a bit of time talking to Ian Foster, who was the assistant coach at the time. And then obviously he came over to our 20s program as well. Do you remember that in Oceania?
Yeah.
He came over and had a few chats to him then, but nothing recently or anything. More just developing the game and stuff like that, and sort of what they see and what they want to see, I guess.
If you didn't make the All Blacks, would you go play for another country?
I've never really thought about it, to be honest. Ever since I was a kid, I've always just been so driven to play for my country, which is New Zealand. But I think if that ever came, then there'd be thoughts of probably going overseas and potentially finishing, if I'm still playing, my career overseas or something. Whether that would mean playing for another country, I don't know. I honestly haven't really thought about it, to be honest. Maybe, yeah.
Are you eligible for any other countries?
I'm sure I am. Not that I know of, but I'm sure I'm eligible for something. Otherwise, I don't even know the rules. I think you have to be there for 5 years or something.
5 years.
Citizen for 5 years or something. So,
Teammate will come swinging if you're in a fight.
Probably Aki.
Fuck, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, he's got all the boys' backs when anything like that happens, and he's you can always count on someone like him. Most boys are actually pretty good, to be honest. Scott Scrafton's another one actually. He'd charge in, but yeah, Aki's probably the main one.
He's a Kent's boy, eh?
Scraff? Yeah, he was Kent's for his last year. He was
Oh, yeah.
Kelston
Oh,
originally.
really?
Yeah, he was Kelston, and then he went.
Kelly.
I think it was his last year, St. Kent's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mrs. wants you to take her out for a special dinner. Where's your go-to?
Ooh. Where's it go to? We went. I reckon the best one that we've been to. Oh, we went to 8 a couple of times.
Oh yeah.
That restaurant in Auckland. But the Sky Tower's pretty mean as well. Up the top of it, and there's a restaurant. It's called Orbit or Orbit 360 or something, and it's rotating when you're sitting down for dinner. So that was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's it, bro.
Mean. Safe.
Do you just want to quickly plug yourself for anyone that wants to find you?
Yeah, sweet. So I think my Facebook's just Harry Plummer and Instagram is harryp_98. So check me a follow if you got any questions through and I'll try to answer them.
Mean, bro. Thanks for jumping on, brother.
Yeah, dude. No worries, loss.
Later, boy.
Easy. Later.